a couple of weeks ago, I was at my friend's house for a party, and there was a guy there who was like a friend of a friend, and we really hit it off. Like, I had so much fun getting to know this guy and just like talking, and I like really felt like I could date this guy. And a lot of my friends came up and were like, he's really, like, it seems like he's really into you. So this week I was doing some light Instagram stalking, as one should, and he has like several photographs with women in smaller bodies. And the places that my mind went instantly were just awful. And I hate that they were my first reactions. Again, these were over a course, like these photos were over the course of like 10 years. And I instantly just felt like I wasn't attractive enough or desirable enough in my body for someone to want me. And I hate that that was my first reaction, was due to my size and my plus size body that I love. I questioned my desirability for this man. And I hate the fact that I was like, oh, I wonder if he'd be willing to date a bigger girl. No, like, I hate that idea of being willing to date. Like, no. And the fact that like I would even question my worth and what I would bring into a relationship just because of 3 photographs over the course of 10 years. But like, that's what fat phobia does to someone. Like, these are the feelings that I have, like real feelings I have based off of years and years of conditioning of being told that I'm not good enough, that me and my body is not good enough. And it's awful. I'm so glad that I like recognized it and I can have that ability to like reset the mind. But the fact that I even went there is devastating. Really, really sucks.
Okay, so there's a lot going on here with this woman as far as her own thoughts and her imaginations. Like, okay, so a man was interested in you and you recognize that you're obese and overweight. And this man is giving you the time of day. And when you go looking through his Instagram and you see that he's hanging out and dating skinny women, and your mind goes to these places of, oh, I don't feel good enough and all that. That means that you understand that men, for the most part, want skinny, fit women and women who are in shape and who aren't overweight. So if you know that, and then you go and say, well, I'm proud of my plus size body, you're lying. Because look, if you were really proud of your plus size body, well, I'll put it like this. If you could make a wish right now and turn into a fit skinny woman, you would do that instantly. So you're sitting here saying that you're enjoying your plus size body. You're lying, because if you could change that, you would. And then you came up with your own imaginations about he might not be into me. He's probably willing to date me. That means like, and then you call it fat phobia. That's what these overweight women do. You can't call it fat phobia because of something that you make up. And then the man was actually willing to give you the time of day, and then you go out here and start feeling insecure, and then you take it out on all men. That's what these women do. And then title it as fat phobia. It's crazy.
When your preferences exclude an entire group of marginalized people, that's problematic. Okay, that's not nice. That's not a preference. If you lump all fat people in one group together as though they are not very different individuals, that's fat phobic. Just like lumping all black people in one group and saying, I don't like black people is racist. And lumping all disabled people in one group and saying, I don't think people in wheelchairs are hot is ableist. Do you understand what I...
Hi, I'm a fat fatty here. I'm about 240 pounds and 5'3", so I'm classified as an obese gal. First of all, comparing being fat to being a person of color or disabled, like, well, every fat person has a reason for being the way they are. Like, we weren't, like, just born into that. And also, fat is a preference. I don't really date heavy guys. I've always dated skinny guys. I'm not fat phobic. And ultimately, if someone is not into a fat person like myself, then I don't want them. Why try and convince someone to like
preference is something like, I'm looking for a partner who likes kayak.
I'm a fat girl. Oh, I am a fat girl. And my preference would never include someone like you. You're such an obnoxious cunt. Honestly, guys, read that. What a patronising piece of fucking shit. I tell you what, lads, if you like me for my personality, amazing. If my body size does not do it for you, fair enough. I don't blame you. You need to be sexually attracted to somebody to make a relationship work. Do not listen to fucking cockwombles like that who are telling you that you are a bad person because you don't find fat attractive. No, you're entitled to like who you want, how you want, when you want. Be free.
I'm about to have a first date, and it's like a guy that I met online. I'm just gonna talk about something really fast just because I was talking to a skinny friend of mine, and I don't think it's ever happened to her. Whenever I go on like a first date with somebody I've met online, I am so nervous, and I try so hard. I'll post at some point like what my photos are on my online profiles because I try so hard to make sure that they know I'm fat. I don't want it to be a question. I don't want it to be a surprise. I try really hard for them to know. I was talking to a friend about this, and she was like, oh my God, has somebody ever like said that? And like, I can think of a solid 2 to 3 times that someone has like gone and like showed up on the date and they say something along the lines of, wow, it's like, you look different than I thought you would. Or one guy that I slept with, and then messaged me afterwards and said, you know what, I think that you just look different than I thought in person. After we slept together. So anyway, every time I'm about to go for a date, I am terrified. So, can you tell that I'm fat? Can you? Because I'm trying really hard to not freak out about the fact that like he could show up and be disappointed about what I look like. I know it's said all the time, especially on this app. I guess it depends who you're following, but like dating as a fat woman is incredibly stressful, and it's also just difficult and hurtful 99% of the time. Anyway, we'll see how this goes. I don't know.
Well, this is another example of how women who are overweight understand, because all women who are overweight, when they go out with men and they want to start dating, they all have this same nervous feeling because they understand, no matter what they try to frame it as, fat phobia or preference, however you want to name it, however they try to name it, they all understand that men prefer skinny women. You get those few who prefer overweight women, that's fine. Nobody's knocking them for that. But most men prefer women who are in shape and skinny. So women understanding that, they go on here and they talk about men like it's their fault that they're fat. And then another thing is everyone knows that pictures can be deceiving. So when you see a picture, and women know this better than anybody, pictures can be deceiving, and you can look one way on a picture and completely different in real life. So if she was really trying to be upfront about her size, she would let the man know, look, I'm fat, before she goes on and tries to start dating whoever it is. Now, when you don't take those kind of efforts, if she was really trying like the way she said she was, then she would go out of her way to make sure that they knew. Because men pictures are deceiving. And then she gets on here and says, well, it's hurtful. No, it's deceitful is what it is. You can't try to be deceitful and underhanded about your size and then get mad when men are taken aback whenever they see you in person and be like, this is different than what the pictures say. So women, you got to stop being sneaky, and you got to stop trying to put it on men and play the victim when it's not our fault that you're overweight. Just lose the weight, and you could be like every other woman who you truly deep down wish you were like.